Fanatically Correct. Brought to you by us, fans like you, but mostly us.
Now the next words out of your mouth have to be exactly what I want. Not for my sake, but for yours. And for your boy, Jason, who lives up on 1404 J Street. Now you know what I want. You got to give it to me.
Look for Elliot's name.
What am I gonna find there?
Mr. Robot.
What's that?
That is how you'll break him.
In a dark corner of the world, three men will work together to bring you a podcast like no other. This is Fanatically Correct, where the fans, the geeks, and the nerds are always correct. With your host, MSK, Yo Peace, and Omega.
What's the one that Zoom? What's the one that Zoom makes? It just like chimes. When
Zoom!
jumps in?
Zoom.
Zoom. Wow.
Zoom took the logo of Skype and took everyone with them.
Yes, they did.
Pretty much.
It really did. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Skype had a 10-year, 15-year advance on Zoom. What? I didn't hear about Zoom until this pandemic.
Yeah.
I had no idea about it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Neither
that's
did
gonna
I.
be because watch out. That'll be the next conspiracy theory for the pandemic. Is that Zoom somehow
Zoom.
created it in a
What do you
lab.
mean next?
Oh, that one already passed.
It's already
That
passed.
Zoom created in a lab.
It's been hashtagging somewhere.
Hashtag Zoom coronavirus.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Are you still watching? Are you still watching? Does that still annoy you? Like when you're binge watching and you get that little, "Are you still watching?" from Netflix?
Honestly, I personally haven't even noticed it because I haven't been binge watching on Netflix for a while. So for me, it's been a while. I've been
Other medium.
I've been everywhere else minus Netflix, so I haven't noticed. Is it still doing
Now,
it?
I brought it
Yeah.
up because it just happened to me today. Am I still watching? Why? Because the content is garbage and you're judging me for watching this, or you're judging me in general for watching for too long?
It should
I
say,
get up
please keep
and do
watching.
something, right?
Please keep watching.
Exactly. Well, no, just a thank you. It really should just say thank you and then continue playing. That's the most it should get. Never should go thank you for watching and then it continues.
Honestly, it shouldn't
that's your
say anything.
opportunity to
If I fell asleep, I'll rewind it. Just don't.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry, Netflix. It's my internet. It's my TV. It's my Don't worry about it. We're fine. I'm a big boy. I can handle
It's
it.
not a Netflix hate. Jesus.
Yeah.
You
No,
get
I love this. I
HBO
love the
Max
shows.
and that's it. You get rid of Netflix.
They just need to fix that.
You know
the
what
programming
streaming
is
service really annoys me? Hulu, because they don't do a restart. Start from the beginning. They don't have that option.
They really don't. They don't.
So you have
that
to
is
go, and if you miss something or you want to rewatch the episode, you have to go rewind all the way back.
Yeah. Disney Plus has some issues with that too.
Yeah.
It has some like annoying issues with the skip ahead, skip intro and things like that. Consistently it has. They're just. I mean, it's the newer streams, but yeah.
Well,
Hulu
Disney
should
Plus
have no
has a
excuse.
problem with skip to the next episode. It takes
Yeah.
a while for it to pop
automatically.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, it should automatically play the next episode. But
So yeah, we're gonna try something a little different. We're gonna intro for 10 minutes before.
it's actually not that different because we've done this
Try.
before.
Try a little different.
So yeah, well, this is Fanatically Correct. I'm your host Omega,
MSK.
Yo, peace.
and today we're gonna do some. I guess I wouldn't say binge watching, more of what are we currently watching. like what's been going on.
Yeah,
since the
what
last
we're watching.
episode,
Yeah.
what we're watching. Like since the
I mean,
last
some of
episode.
us binge. Some of us have been binging a show, but
Yeah,
it's
we-
not
we-
maybe
yeah,
not
we've been
current or something a little older.
So, yeah.
Wonder.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not current. Not everything we're going to talk about is current. Some of it will be more current than others. Some of it will just be old shows that just watching again. I think we all just had a little dive the other day into Quantum Leap again. Like,
Yeah, I think we all
Yeah.
we all just started
we
watching
all
at least
did.
one
It just
episode.
started watching a couple episodes here and
Yeah,
there.
yeah. That's
And, but yeah,
I'm sorry.
It really
I
gets me mad
apologize.
about
I
that-
apologize
the
for
music
that, guys.
thing.
I apologize
Yeah.
for now.
it was Jonesy. It was funny though because when Yo Piece had shared it with us what he was watching, I was like, I was literally had just seen it earlier that day, and I was like, oh, this is a good moment to share something I had noticed, and that was the episode with Jennifer Aniston in it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I pulled that up, and then I saw the Joseph Gordon-Levitt one when he was a little kid. I was like, what? So yeah, a lot of good guest stars in Quality. But
Yeah, a lot.
let's go ahead. We'll go kind of like round robin and take turns. I think because of what he just finished, MSK and I had watched it live, but Yo Piece just binged and finished and caught up with. Go ahead, Yo Piece, take it away.
All at once too. It's crazy.
All at once. I kind of envy him. I need to do that now. I need
Yeah.
to
Well,
do it.
almost
rewatch
all
it.
at once. I did 3 seasons. 3 seasons.
So you'd only seen the first season live?
I started watching the second season. I remember like I want to say the first 3 or 4 episodes of the second season, but I went back and I rewatched them all just to refresh my memory exactly. So yeah, it was Mr. Robot, man. Mr. Robot. I went deep into Mr. Robot and I finished it. I finished it today actually. Today was the last.
How do you feel about that?
Man. Wow.
Emotionally, how do you
that's-
feel right now?
Wow.
I know.
I am drained emotionally. I am very drained emotionally.
No,
I didn't
and-
even think this show was going to do that to me. To be honest with you, the
Yeah.
whole time watching from the second season, third season picked up so much that it was just so much greatness that I literally teared up a couple of times, and I really don't do that on shows. But great writing, man. Great
Yeah,
show.
I think what happens is when people see something of Mr. Robot, they automatically think, "Oh, it's just a hacker against the government type
Yeah. It
show."
starts
and
that
it's
way.
not.
It
it's
starts
not
that
really,
way.
Yeah, it starts that way, but it's not really that though, man. There's so many
No.
other things to that. I'm trying not to spoil it for anyone else, but
Yeah.
it's so good.
No, at its core, it's an individual character development story. I mean, it develops multiple characters other than the main character, which we know the character's Elliot, which is
Rami Malek.
is that Rami Malek from Bohemian Rhapsody and the new Bond movie that's coming out later this year, and quite a few things. I mean, he's an incredible actor, and I mean, I'm sure Yo Piece noticed that in season 4, like he really. I don't know if it's his confidence level or the director's confidence level, but it wasn't just him; it was all the actors in general. That season, the final season of the show is all
I'm
performance
not
based.
even gonna say it was. I'm not even gonna say it was just him. Like, yeah, you have to give credit to the whole cast.
Everyone, the supporting cast.
They
man.
It's almost like they knew probably that it was gonna be the end, and
Yeah.
just getting that extra craft, that beauty in the craft that they portrayed onto these characters, and they brought them to life. It was every single character there was amazing. Every single actor plays part to the point, and you are drawn in. And if you've never seen it, like unlike you guys that didn't see it, that saw it live, I held back forever. Where MSK will bother me a lot all the time. Like, man, you need to catch up. You need to catch up. And I will be like, yeah. So at some point I'll catch up. But I don't regret it. I don't regret not watching it live and doing this whole binge that I did inside this cave.
like I just said, I envy you because I honestly we had talked earlier, and that's what I was saying. MSK, we watched it, live week to week, the final season, and it held up incredibly. I mean, I was anxious and anticipating the next episode, and when the next episode would play, it was just incredible and mind blowing. And that was after a week of waiting and feeling hyped up. So much easier to get disappointed. So then to be able to get that instant gratification and watch it back to back to back. I mean, there's certain episodes, like there's one shot episodes, and there's like some episodes that are more action sequence with this anxiety level that I almost feel like
episode is crazy.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's like watching 1917 or Dunkirk. Like you just get that antsy feeling the whole time you're watching it.
No, you know what? I got more anxious watching Mr. Robot's one-shot episode than 1917. I'm going to be completely honest.
Wow.
I'm going to be completely honest.
I bet.
I got way more anxious watching Mr. Robot's
episode. 1917, in fairness, it has moments where they pause for story, where Mr. Robot, it's an episode in the middle of the season,
non-stop.
So they don't pause for story. They don't pause. Like, the story built up to this moment, and now they just play out the moment, and then the next episode gives you story again. But in that episode, it's just insanity, especially I mean, there's one that the whole episode is 100% one shot, but then there's a few episodes that are similar to it that are high octave and high action sequences, but it's just a well filmed show, well written show, and that's what it is. The final season, the writing was just incredible to allow all these actors to have great dialogue moments and great interaction, a lot of revelations and growth with all the characters. It's just so well done, and it's easy to have multiple favorite characters too.
I mean, there's two specific actors that killed it, other than Rami Malek, was Gloria Rubin that plays Krista, the therapist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Elliot Villar that does Vera, his kind of like nemesis.
Yeah.
Look, those two actors were incredible in that specific episode when they confront Elliot, and it's amazing. That episode was great. I think that was one of the best episodes of the whole series.
Yeah. No, and I like this. I don't remember the actor's name, but it's the Italian actor. He does a lot of mob stuff. That he works with one of the like nemesis.
Bobby Cannavale.
Yeah, his character's just crazy. And the daughter of the other actress, there's an FBI agent.
Grace Goomer. She's the daughter of Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep's daughter, yes. I mean, her character's credible in the final season. Same thing. It just developed to a point where you get some excellent scenes from her and performances from her. And I love also the Swedish guy, the real big blonde dude, that Viking looking guy, that's like the head of the business, what is it, Evil Corp or whatever, that Elliot works with in different ways, and like all the different things that happen with that character. That's
Wellick,
awesome
he was
awesome
out there.
Too.
He was out there. I thought all the scenes with Joey Badass was pretty cool, because he was kind of like, you don't know what side he's really on. He's just kind of like a guy for hire type guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And check out his music, Yopis, because I think you'd like it. But anyways,
man,
it was a good series.
He impressed me, man. For a rapper, rappers most of the times don't get that prop for showing their skills in acting, and he was very, I want to say, natural. Like there was not a lot.
It didn't feel forced
at all. He didn't look like he was trying to act. He was just being himself, which is what I enjoy about these type of people that really don't get the credit because they're just playing themselves, but that's still a skill. Like you have to admit, like it looks good for TV. It's great for the show. It worked very well, and I'm not gonna say I won't check out his music. I just think that I need.
You just don't like his name.
I'm not very fond of the name, so but whatever. We'll figure that out later on.
That's a different thing.
But no, man, I just have to say, like, I enjoy the crap out of this show. Like I couldn't believe the roller coaster this show took me on. Yeah. Believe me, like, if you've never seen Mr. Robot, go into it, and just go into it just watching it for what it is. Don't try to, how do I say, don't try to
predict it.
Yeah, don't try to predict it. Just don't think that it's just a show, like you said before, about hacking, because really that's gonna be the least of the things you're going to get on this show. It's like the it's a story. It's a bigger story than just hacking, and it's a deeper
story, man. A much deeper story.
It's a very deep story.
The ending,
very deep,
man,
like I
that
said,
ending, Jesus.
a very deep personal story to
Yeah.
a specific character, and then all the characters as well. But obviously, we have a main character, and it's mostly driven about that main character, and just like all the build up and all the story and backstory and just everything that evolves that character is just so impressive. And to boot, I mean, just like the first season especially, it's scarier because it does deal a lot more with the hacking stuff before they start to develop more and more the main character, and get into more personal situations. But that hacking stuff, it does get scary because you start seeing like how easy they make it look, and I don't think they're making it look that way.
No,
like,
that's
how
real,
easy
man.
No, that's
phones
real.
get hacked and computers get hacked, and like I mean, you're just like, oh, like it's like I mean, I'm gonna get like a triple platinum membership to LifeLock, like because I'm so traumatized from Mr. Robot or one of those, whichever one of those, because like wow, man, like it's just like oh, like you're so scared to do anything on your phone for like at least that's why it's good. It's week to week.
I'm scared to do this podcast right now.
Binge
Just
it.
the way I'm looking.
I know. I have like duct tape over my camera right now on the desktop, like just in case.
It's
What's funny? One of my coworkers at work, he has his camera hidden. Like he has not a duct tape, but he has a Evil Corp logo on top of the camera.
That's awesome. That's
hilarious.
Because he's a fan of Mr. Robot too.
Yeah,
so,
that's
pretty
awesome.
Funny.
That's awesome.
So
That's
hey,
society.
but here's the other one that I need to just give. And I told you guys, on the text, we spoke about it. I think it was last night where I text you guys. I was like, what? Where was Christian Slater? Where was Christian Slater all these years? This whole time, man. This man acting on this show is phenomenal. He is amazing from the get-go. From season 1, you see that he is a great actor. And towards the end, man, Jesus gracious Christian. Where were you?
Especially season 3, man.
Jump. Yeah, no, in season 4. But you know what it is that it's especially seeing him take this jump as an actor, because the first time I saw him, and it was one of these shows, it had one season, I can't remember the name of it now, where he was like a secret agent for like the CIA or something like that. Like,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Type thing, yeah. And he actually showed some great performance chops in that series, because he's playing like two characters. He's a sleeper agent, but he has two personalities. I mean, I'm not giving nothing away. That's the show, the premise of the show. That the same guy has almost like Me, Myself, and Irene. So it's not like Jason Bourne where he gets triggered, and now
was this a movie or a TV show?
No, it's a series.
It was a series on
like 8 episodes.
It was on
NBC.
NBC.
I think it was on NBC. Yeah, and the premise of the show wasn't that he was a guy that gets triggered and now he has all these abilities and he doesn't know. He has two personalities. He has the cover, him, and then he has, when they trigger him, the other personality.
Yeah,
but
my own worst enemy. That's what it was.
That's what it is. My own worst enemy. Yeah. And he's playing two, the same guy, and you do believe it. You do believe that's two completely different personalities. And they do a great job of it. So you see him as that, and that's the first time I had seen him do, like, he's the dad now, because he's like a teenage daughter in that show or whatever, and he's like the dad now. So now to finally see him take a bigger jump to like that Kevin Costner, era type role of the much older dad, the Dennis Quaid, whatever, because we grew up with Christian Slater, Young Guns,
right,
and
of course.
Pump Up the Volume and Heathers, and he did all Robin Hood, horrible, but Will Scarlet, whatever he was. But we were so used to the young Christian Slater, and he's aged well, that when we finally see him take on a mature role, he just, I mean, I don't see how he doesn't get more roles similar to this after this.
He has a new series. He has a new series on USA right now.
I did see that. I saw it. I saw the commercial a little while ago. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Really?
That's great for him.
I think, he was great. He's always been a good actor. He's one of those guys that's always needed like a really good director guidance. Guidance. Yeah. Like, he wasn't a great actor. He's always been an okay actor. But he was great. He was great in Mr. Robot for sure.
Yeah, he always had the potential. He always just had the and now this is a show where you had a director and a writing staff and production that just did a good job of allowing all these actors to really show their potential and to reach it.
All right. So segue. I'm gonna do a segue since Rami Malek is with these two actors in the next Bond movie. I just saw Knives Out.
Hey,
with
all
Daniel
right.
Craig.
Hey, Yo
and,
Peace just saw that a couple weeks ago
Yes,
too.
I did.
I've
Yeah.
been talking about this movie since I saw it in the theaters. What
Yeah.
a great film!
It was
Your
awesome.
take on it since you
was
brought it up.
so good. Yeah, no. For me, it was kind of different to see because I've seen so many Spanish films with Ana de Armas that
What a great performance!
It's different seeing her.
Did you just
in a
roll
Hollywood
your
movie?
R? Did you just roll your R
The
on this
Armas.
podcast, sir?
Armas.
Armas?
Armas. Yeah. But I find it funny watching her in this movie, and everyone's trying to guess where she's from. So they're
Yes.
like, "Oh,
That's
yeah,
one
she's
of
from
my
Ecuador." That's the
favorite
first one I
things.
heard. I'm like,
Yeah.
she ain't Ecuadorian.
That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite things about that movie is the little subtle jokes that they do like that they're total callbacks
Yeah.
over and over again.
Yeah.
And like you remember like, oh, that's awesome. Like every time they're interviewing different people. Yeah,
This is
that's
different.
great,
Different.
but how
Yeah,
fun.
she's
Oh, it
from
was so
different
good, man.
spots.
Yeah. I
was
knew.
so good.
I knew. Like I mean, I recommend that movie to anybody. I saw it with the wife, and these usually aren't her type of films, and she loved it. I mean, like she's seen it twice. She loved it. And it's like it's Clue-ish. It's
It's a whodunit movie, so yeah, it's
is-
Clue-ish and
exactly. It's
Orient
whodunit,
Express.
and then it's a is it done it or it changes genres, a few times through the film, and then when it's all said and done, it's a good all around great film that meets
was.
multiple genres, which usually whodunits don't meet multiple genres, and it does, and just the mix of characters. Because usually the whodunits kind of focus like the Murder on the Orient Express. It tends to focus more on the detective. Where
Right.
This one really spread the love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really,
I mean, it's
spread the
really
love more
about
to all
her,
the
which is
characters.
crazy because she's never been the main actress in a movie
Yeah,
in Hollywood.
she carefully carried the film. Yeah,
So
was
she
definitely
carried the film. Like it was great. And Daniel Craig. I mean, I thought I was gonna get annoyed by that southern accent that he was
Yeah.
gonna do. I actually thought he did a great job with it. Like he
Yeah,
did
well-
really good.
Yeah, there was a one with Chris Evans' Kentucky. What was it? He calls him.
Oh
He called
yeah,
them,
KFC. Yeah,
Jesus, what was the something Kentucky? It was
Kentucky
awesome.
yeah.
Fried-
CSI KFC or something like that.
Yeah, it's Kentucky Fried Detective or something like that. It was funny, but yeah, I mean, and everything was well casted. Like the Don Johnson, Jamie Lee Curtis, like every Chris Evans, like everybody just did their roles so well. And
Michael
just
Shannon,
the-
come on, man! Like,
Oh
Michael
yes,
Shannon's
oh he
great.
was
so
awesome.
good.
Michael Shannon.
He was
Well, you know
awesome.
what? Since you guys brought up how Christian Slater recently got better in acting, Don Johnson in The Watchmen
Yeah.
and
Yes.
Knives Out. I'm like,
And
man,
Knives Out,
like,
yes. He's a
What
twofer
the
right now.
hell? Great. He's been great.
Yeah, incredible. And yeah, it's such a fun film to watch. And I think Yopi's the one who told me that they're getting a sequel of some kind. That he had read that, or was it you, MSK? I think one of you told me.
I haven't read too much on any sequel or anything, so maybe it was Yopi's. But I mean, that'd be.
See-
I don't think it needs one. I think it was a
Yeah.
perfect.
Well, no. I mean, it's not a
Self-contained
sequel to
movie.
that story. It's going to follow Daniel Craig's character, and then I just guess they would follow the formula of getting. I mean, it's going to be harder because again, it didn't. Daniel Craig's actually not really the main character.
Right.
It's Artemis, but. By taking him over, they could still follow the same formula. Have someone else be the almost main character, almost the way they did Mad Max and Fury Road. You know what I mean? Fury Rosa, which was Charlize Theron's character, was actually the main character of that movie. So there's
Right.
like almost co-main characters. So he will always be a part of it. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to be doing any more Mad Maxes for a while. But if they did that, they could just follow that same formula and it works. So it would be the same here. If they follow that same formula of have another character or two characters that are more the main character than the investigator himself, but then still have a good array of different characters and suspects and stuff like that, it could really work. And I mean, it was such a fun film. That's a
was.
really fun movie to watch.
Yeah, because Ryan
Highly
Johnson
recommended.
did the Last Jedi. That gets a lot of shit, but
Yeah. I mean, I like
He's-
Last Jedi, but
yeah, I liked it too. I like all his. I don't know if you guys seen Looper, but I don't know if you've
Yeah.
seen Brick or Brothers Bloom. Those movies
yeah,
are
I've seen
incredible.
Brick. I've seen both those movies. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are good movies. Yeah.
Very good movies. Very good movies.
Yeah. Brick. I mean, Brick's that's the one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, right?
Yeah, that's the detective
Yeah.
one. The detective
Yeah.
high school story.
Yeah, that's that's a clever film. That's a really
Yeah.
clever film, Brick. I'll take one since we were talking about rappers acting, which is on FX. The rapper hip hop artist Lil Dicky has a show called Dave. And for people who are hearing about it for the first time here, it's a highly recommended show, and it's a very different show. It's a comedy. It's a raunch comedy in a lot of ways. It's actually very surprising to see. I mean, FX, they've already been doing this for a while with shows that once it hits that 10 p.m. Hour, it's like pure
your kids better be in bed.
And, yeah, not family friendly in the slightest, because there's some really out there. So
it's a new
scenes.
Nick at Night at that time.
Yeah. But even Nick at Night was way cleaner than like I Love Lucy and The Honeymooners or Nick at Night. This is hardcore. But the thing that's incredible about the show is that I gotta say, Dave, I don't know his last name, but Little Dicky, is
Bird.
Quite the talent.
Dave Bird.
Oh, it's Bird.
Bird.
Dave Bird.
Bird.
He's I don't know how much he's involved in the actual writing of everything.
I'm sure he's very involved, man.
I think he is, because the series is very autobiographic.
Yeah.
And basically a biop of him before he made it, which is different from a lot of these other shows like Entourage and stuff like that. So he has a lot of the people that are playing themselves, but they're playing themselves before he was anybody. So, and they have a lot of actors. They had Macklemore's in an episode. They had Justin Bieber's in an episode.
Wow, Macklemore, I haven't heard of him for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, he's funny, and a lot of small cameos.
He's got cameos, a lot of cameos. But the great thing about the show is not mainly the cameos, but is the unknown.
The unknown people.
People, and I don't mean unknown because I'm sure they have and they've done other things. They have other things in their repertoire.
They're just not famous.
But they're not people that you'll be like, oh yeah, I know this person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know this person. And that's what makes
because
the
like
show.
his hype man Gata is his real life hype man Gata.
Yeah.
And there's a whole thing about his, and that's the thing. Like, it's mainly about Dave. And what's incredible, and that's the main thing about the show, is that it has hardcore raunch comedy. But then every episode, you go, wait a minute, I just had emotions.
Yeah.
Like he tells a story, and they deal with some heavy emotional stuff.
do.
Relationship issues, bipolar, emotional, psychological issues. They get into growing up in a certain way. Issues like his certain personal, physical, medical condition. I mean, the first 3 minutes of the first episode, you're like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
Like, it immediately gets into certain things about it. Like, I don't know how much of that's real, but if it's real, incredible. And then for music fans, I mean, he has some great freestyle.
He's awesome.
It's pre-written,
he's awesome,
but he is, and he shows that up, and it's just so well done. And episode to episode, you get told a real story in a crazy, humorous way. And it's impressive because all the performances are good. One of the other guy who plays the manager, I think he's a famous Instagrammer or YouTuber or whatever.
Yes, Andrew Santino.
Yeah, and then which he's my favorite character because he's always the adult in the room, and it's always funny because his nonchalant the way he just shuts things down is just so funny. And then the girl who plays his girlfriend's actually the girl from Pillow Talk, which that's how I found out about Little Dicky. And Google it, watch on YouTube. Pillow Talk is one of his first big music videos that is it's 8 minutes long, but it's incredible. It just tells a story. And she was the girlfriend, the date or whatever in that music video.
Yep.
So they have good chemistry, and it's all of it. And I like every character in the show, and then slowly but surely you start to realize that it's not just about him; it's about his crew, and his friends, and his struggle and his fight, to make it as an artist. And
make it or not. It's
or not exactly. Yeah. And it's one of those, and it has those Eminem those 8 Mile Eminem moments. You know what I mean? Where you feel really hyped, and you're like, oh crap! You really feel like this is the moment that he's gonna make it, and then maybe it is, and maybe it isn't. Just like Aopi says, some things happen, some things don't. And there's some episodes, again, warning: kids can't be in the room, because there's some episodes what?
I mean, Little Dicky's in it, so he shouldn't.
Yeah. You're like, what am I watching right now? And it sets you up so well, because then your guard is completely down when you get hit with some true emotional storytelling.
But you know what? I literally have to agree with you 100% on that. There are gonna be moments on that show that's gonna take you by surprise, and you're gonna be like, "What did I just watch? Is this the same show that I'm watching, or is this another show?" Because there are moments that you're gonna. I'm not even lying. There are gonna be moments which are true life things that happen to people, and you're gonna be like, "Wow, this is a great show." At the end of the whole season, you're going to be you're going to look back and you're gonna reflect on how well that show is. Really well.
Yeah, how that first season all comes together. Like once there's award shows and all that, it's got to get nominated for all kinds of things.
It ended already, right? The first season's done.
Yes.
Yeah, first season's done. 8 episodes. It was an FX show. I think it's available on Hulu as well. But yeah, it just does a great job of storytelling in a very unique, different way. It's not a superhero show. It's not. It's just very different from a lot of the other things that are available right now. And it's fun. I mean, it's a fun show to watch. You're gonna laugh a lot, and then you're gonna get the feels here and there and be surprised. And that's so yeah, we both recommend it. I hope you get on it at some point.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've seen the first episode, but I haven't gotten a chance to go back. So I know what scene you're talking about. Which is kind of like,
right out the gate. The first 3 minutes, you're like, wow, like is this real? Like, I started Googling stuff. Like, I did. I started Googling stuff. Like, this is a real thing? Like, is this possible?
Yeah, but no, I mean, Little Dicky's funny, so I'm just going to check that out just because of him. But awesome. Now that if there's like a deeper layer into it, that's a plus.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna see it because the first episode touches on it a bit, but it's every episode after that just gets they get deeper and deeper.
It does,
and not the whole episode. They time it very well to just hit you with with certain moments. And like I said, you just even with me telling you you're not gonna see it coming, you're still not gonna see it coming because again the comedy's just so
the Mandarin's
far out
in
there.
It. Okay.
Yeah,
exactly. He's definitely in it.
You'll never see,
obviously, of course.
So. Yo, Peace, you want to take what's something else?
Something else that I've been watching.
Oh no, wait. MSK. Oh no, he went before me. I'm sorry. We switched up the order. That's right, because he did
I did Knives Out.
Knives Out. He did the movie. I wasn't expecting
Well,
that.
I did.
I was expecting something else he's been binge watching, but I know he's going to get to it at some point.
Yeah, I did. I did see that one. That one was recently. Man. Oh, I finished Vikings. I caught up on Vikings. I remember catching up on that.
You caught up as well?
Yeah, I'm not caught up on that either. Not yet.
Do it. You got time before the next
the season for Vikings is kind of odd the way they come out because the last, I believe it was the end of season 4 when Bjorn leaves.
Yeah.
He travels out and then he leaves the brothers and the brothers kind of one of them specifically takes over.
Yeah.
That crew. I don't want to give anything away, but yeah. So that was the last thing I saw. That was like the end of 2017, and then they came back. Yeah. Last year, so like they took like a 2-year thing to do it.
Yeah.
And then they took like a 6 months break. Like I'm just waiting until it ends for me to.
They do a Walking Dead formula, which that's a show that does it the worst, where they do. It's like a 16-episode season. They do 8 episodes, disappear for 4 months, and then 8 episodes. In my opinion, those are separate seasons at that point. You know what I mean? You take a few weeks off for holidays or whatever, or a month off even, but when you take 4 months off, like that's another season. Like,
that's another season,
I already binge watched 20 other shows from there to here. This is a new season. Yeah, but the same thing happens.
For me, it's very hard to keep up with that series for some reason, but I want to get back into it because where I left off, it's kind of like at a cliffhanger. I'm like, where is that gonna go next? Yeah. And one of my buddies actually just started binge watching it, and he's getting to that part, and I just want to see where their reaction is gonna be because it's insane.
It's a great show. It's so well casted, very different. I don't know how much is to this point when you get to these final seasons. Is historically accurate because a lot of it they start strongly. I mean, it's on the History Channel, and History Channel with no aliens. Big shock.
Yeah.
We don't know. It's not. The series ain't over yet, so we'll find out at the end. All Vikings are aliens. Like we'll see. Well, so we could get there.
Here's the thing about historically, just because it's on the History Channel. I don't want to give them the okay, you guys know exactly what you're saying because it's still Hollywood. They still have to make it entertainment, and they're still gonna write things that they're just gonna make up just because. So historically, I'm going to tell you that there are things on there that are I want to say
that did happen,
well known to have happened, but then there are also like the beginning of everything from the beginning of the show that all that is made up, but at the end it was still entertaining. So yes, there are things that are there are things that they are that what I like about it is that they still somehow touch on the history of certain things, but the majority of it is just made up and it's still entertaining. So I don't take that.
Yeah, because what it does,
I think there's more history of one of the sons than like Ragnar himself.
Yes, that's why. But the thing is, they kind of spread the love between the sons and with Ragnar to give each character a more level amount of pop. But outside of that, what they also do is like usually a lot of times a historical type show will give you like a one big historical event and then give you much lighter things happening to fill in between, the telling of a story. Where in Vikings, the fictional stuff is like almost bigger events than the actual historical event that happened. Yeah. So like sometimes you feel like, oh, that was like the actual historical thing that happened. Like, wow, they didn't blow that up enough compared to all this other stuff that went down. Like,
exactly.
So they do use a lot, and what's cool about it, it's kind of their Vikings Game of Thrones, because they do get into some supernatural, spiritual Viking, mythology stuff. They don't like outright do it, but they kind of touch on it. It almost feels a little 300 Spartanish with some things that they do. But they mix it all up. They really do a good job of it, and you got a great cast. And
I think they do a good job of making them like look like Vikings. Like it's not like
that for sure.
The helmet with the two. It's it's legit Vikings. I do like that their History Channel is touching on something historic, and not just Pawn Stars or something like that. That's like why is that even on that channel?
Of course.
So that's cool. But yeah, I gotta get back on Vikings for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely one to jump on. So MSK, let's get another one from you. It's something recent.
Well, I'm gonna say two of them because they kind of go hand in hand. But I'm gonna start with I started with the new Steve Carell series, Space Force.
Okay.
Oh, the Netflix one. Mm-hmm.
On Netflix. It's pretty good.
Is your review of it as rough as the reviews it's getting? Because it's getting some rough reviews.
No, it's getting rough reviews, but I don't understand why. I understand the beginning of the series. It was a little rough to get into it because you're not used to Steve Carell. You see Steve Carell, and what character do you think of?
Michael Scott.
You think Michael Scott. So especially in the comedy, but you see Steve Carell in a comedic series, and it's like, all right, Michael Scott. Come on, Michael Scott. And it's not that.
And he's not that at all.
And I wouldn't say at all, but he's not that completely. And it kind of like messes. I think that's what's messing with people. I honestly, at the beginning, it was a little rough. It took me like 2 or 3 episodes to really get into it. But the middle part I think it was a pretty good series.
That's when the humor starts to kick in.
Yeah, they started to gel better. Some of the characters started to. I got more of a sense of the other characters, and Steve Carell isn't the best guy in that series. The supporting casts are very good, but John Malkovich,
of course,
John Malkovich is
excellent. Even though John Malkovich was in it,
of course.
No, John Malkovich is insanely good.
Said John, of course.
Yeah, I know.
That's it, Malkovich.
Yeah, man, he plays this scientist guy, and it's very. He's John Malkovich.
Is he Russian? Is he Russian?
He's Michael Scott.
He's Michael Scott's funny.
He's Michael.
He's the Michael Scott.
I would say he's doing like the Russian, like from Rounders. That's like one of my favorite all-time John Malkovich characters.
You get
a Russian from Rounders.
That's awesome.
No, it's a good show. I wouldn't say it's great. And now I'm going to segue to a great series, which I'm binge watching again, and Omega's going to hate it. I'm binge watching The Office from the beginning.
Yeah, no, I don't hate it. It's just all you talk about. Because I like that show. It's a great show. Just say it's all you talk about.
No, but it's an amazing show. That's all you should talk about.
It is.
It's a funny show.
So Yopis, I know you're Omega. I know you've seen some episodes. You haven't seen it.
No, I pretty much seen the whole series. I just never watched it straight through in order. I just like it's like it's
that's
all,
the
like,
wrong way of doing it.
Yeah,
but
I'll eventually get back to it that way because I did that with Seinfeld. When I started watching Seinfeld, I watched it. It was like in its 6th season, so I'd seen it all out of order. Even though The Office, obviously, I noticed has more of an arc to it than Seinfeld did. You know what I mean?
Seinfeld has no arc, man. It's a show about nothing, which is perfect.
Yeah, for the most, I mean, there's just like there'll be like 4 or 5 episodes where it's a certain girlfriend or whatever, and you realize like, oh, he changed girlfriends already, and it's not. There's still 3 more episodes with that girlfriend, but for the most part, each episode's a complete standalone episode without really affecting much. Certain ones, the comedies, a lot of it's callback. So earlier stuff, which The Office does that too. There's a lot of callback, comedy from earlier episodes that if you didn't see them, you don't get those extra jokes. So I have noticed that when I've seen episodes of within a little bit more fluidity, because I mean, The Office on 10 different networks, and they play like 4 or 5 episodes in a row.
I'm gonna say it's the best
So
sitcom I've ever seen. It's the best sitcom.
I mean, even I haven't seen it all the way through. It's in my top 3.
I can almost agree with you with that.
So
one.
odds are, if I watch all the way through, it'll probably be my number 1.
I'm gonna say it's the best sitcom, even though now I'm getting to the part where it gets really rough.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm getting to season 8.
Stop it.
And when while it was on air, when I got to season 8, I stopped watching the show.
Oof. I know.
And this is the best sitcom. This is the best sitcom I've ever seen. So seasons 1 through 7 are flawless. They're perfect. Season 8 is really, really bad.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I can't say anything else about that. It's just really bad. So I'm getting to that point. I started from season 1 when the pandemic started and we were all stuck. Season 1 through 7, and now I'm about to start 8. Oof. So I might not talk about The Office anymore. So there you go.
That's not true. But you did finish it. You did finish The Office before, and
and it's sort of 9 seasons, right?
It gets better towards the end.
Ending. Oh, I'm gonna be very clear. I went up to season 8. I finished all the way to season 8. I didn't finish all of season 9.
Well, that's your mistake, sir. That is your mistake right there.
I didn't finish season 9. I saw the ending of season 9, so I saw half. I think from the mid part.
That's not how you do it. You did it wrong. You did it wrong.
I did do it wrong.
You should have suffered like everybody else, sir.
I couldn't, man. Season 8 was so bad, so bad.
Yeah, I noticed that's when Steve Carell wasn't on the series, and I noticed that they barely play those in reruns. So even season 8 doesn't get much love on the reruns.
No, season 8. No, the closing, the last episode of the actual show is it's great.
I've seen the series finale a couple times actually.
Series finale is very good. It's perfect, but I think that show needed Steve Carell, man. That show was Steve Carell.
100%.
100% Steve Carell. And yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at right now. Season 8, I'll see if I actually finish it, because I'm trying to finish it before it gets off Netflix.
You have to finish it. You have to go through it, and you have to go through the whole 8 and 9. And I'm telling you, 9 picks up. 9 gets good. 9 makes it okay. 9 makes you forget that there was an 8, which is what I appreciate about it.
Okay, good.
It makes you forget it. You're like, okay, I don't know what the hell just happened, but here I am. And I'm gonna take this route.
It was terrible.
I'm gonna eventually. It's gonna be like 20 episodes from now. So like 3 years from now, I'll do this. I'll have the same binge, and then I'll be raving on it on whatever topic we're talking about. Because I know it. I mean, again, it's a great show. It's
so. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if it wouldn't have gone on air today. There's some jokes there that's like, oh. They're funny. They're very funny, but I don't think they would play them on air.
I always think about that a lot when I see like shows that a lot of shows that we watch and a lot of jokes that were said that still get rerun and all these things. We think that show would never get made in today's age, but are we sure about that? Because that show is gold.
Definitely not this year.
Well,
definitely not this year.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. I mean, maybe eventually another show like that would come out. But
it happens. It happens in circles, though. The pendulum swings back.
Not to say those jokes don't hold up, because those jokes are still hilarious.
Oh, they do. We have a sense of humor. It's about having a sense of humor. That's all, and not not being easily offended. You know what I mean? It's the whole point. Understanding that it's light, tongue in cheek, and it's to be humorous. And a show like that, points it out. And all those characters are incredible. I mean, a lot of good individual characters. I don't know what her character on the show's name, but she's from that show, The Mindy Project. Which that's one of the really small characters.
Kelly, yeah.
Yeah, and even her. I mean, it's a very different character than what she plays in other things. But it's like even an annoying character like her.
Yeah, she was one of the head writers.
She was a writer.
Yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, she was
her and Ryan.
Her BJ also wrote, right?
BJ Novak. Yeah, Ryan.
They
were, which is crazy because I always see in the credits they always put Ryan there, and I always wonder why, because he's not one of the main actors.
No.
Like one of the main characters of the series, and they always put him in the credits, and I was like, okay,
makes sense.
Give him that pop.
Another one I'm gonna bring up. I don't think MSK has gotten on it yet.
Wait! I'm sorry. Before you leave, I just remember something. I just remember something. I'm gonna segue back to my beginning. All right. In Mr. Robot, to Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot.
Okay.
And The Office, it connects.
Okay.
It connects.
Wow. How does it connect?
With Craig Robinson.
Oh yeah, it does. It does.
His
Craig
character
Robinson's
was
awesome.
weird.
He's awesome in The Office. He's very good in The Office. In Mr. Robot, I found him very weird. I found him very
right.
Weird.
Was
very
that
weird.
on purpose, or was that, or that was just him?
I think that's him being a good actor.
Yeah.
Because I think he's more of the guy from The Office. Like, it's exaggerated.
Yeah.
But Mr. Robot, that guy he plays in Mr. Robot, and I forgot his character's name, but it goes perfectly with Mr. Robot.
And
it's just a weird
that episode
character.
had me like, those episodes had me like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, there you go. I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean to interrupt. Let's get back onto the show.
It's a good point to bring up.
Let's get back on
No,
the
in season 2, real quick, I'm not trying to interrupt you again. Season 2 is by far the weirdest of Mr. Robot.
Yes.
seasons.
Mr. Robot, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Like overall, it's just weird.
I
Like
agree.
they do weird
There's one
things.
specific episode. We won't get into
Yeah.
details.
It's just-
that's very weird, but it's fun. It's a fun episode.
It's good.
But
It's
yeah.
good.
It just didn't
It's definitely
feel.
weird.
I don't know what happened that year.
It is my least favorite season though. But yeah, it's still good.
Yeah, it's probably. Yeah, it's not a bad season.
No,
Not a
no,
single
it's not
season.
a bad
season. It's not a bad
and not
season.
even a single episode is bad. But of the 4,
It just
if I
didn't-
could only rewatch one season, then
Yeah.
that would be at the
There's
bottom
one-
of the list.
There's one bad episode in season 4, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, we're gonna crap on a show we just finished
Yeah.
hyping up like crazy. Like,
Yeah.
so they pick out something specific.
Sorry,
and
man.
Yeah, so don't watch
let's
Mr.
move on.
Robot.
Let's
It's
move
not
on.
very good.
What were you
We take
gonna
back
bring up?
everything.
Let's go.
Great. You won't regret it at all.
You won't regret it.
So for coming back to me again, it's something that Yopis and I have talked about a few times on our Instagram. And I hope MSK gets around to it at some point if he hasn't already. I'm bringing it up because the new season actually starts this month already, June 25th, which is actually like next week, on HBO Max. It's actually a DC network show, but HBO Max has a contract now with DC, so they brought it over, and that's Doom Patrol.
Yeah,
And,
forgot about
again,
that.
so we can at least and so at least we could bring it up. And we're kind of doing a lot of comedy right now, so that's why I'm going back to
Yeah.
it. And to at least bring it up on an actual podcast episode. Great show,
Man.
Great show. At its base, it's a superhero show. It's a DC superhero show. And the only giveaway, and it's not a spoiler, is because it's just the premise of the show, so you can understand you're seeing something different. It does exist in a not a specific Justice League universe, not like the movie one or
Right.
anything like that. It's still its own universe, but it's a universe where all the superheroes do exist.
Yep.
And the main reason for that in the show is because they're not those superheroes, and that's the whole point. They're not these main story, planet saving superheroes.
They're the other guys.
They're the other guys. And what's cool about it is one of the main characters is Cyborg. And that's what's good about it, is that Cyborg's kind of in that in-between phase of Teen Titans and Justice League. And
Yep.
he's with this, bag of misfits. And it's so well casted. The villains, just crazy villain stuff in the show. Same thing as Dave. Kids cannot be around. I don't care how good it looks to see Cyborg and Brendan Fraser's character, the robot, Robot Man, I think it's called, or any of that. You just no, don't, because it goes off the rails sometimes. Just like I was talking about with the show Dave, there's some moments that go really off the rails, and I mean even worse than Umbrella Academy, like the boys on Amazon Prime. Yeah, it has moments like that where it's like really off the rails. Yeah, but it's different. It's not like The Boys. It's not like Umbrella Academy. It's managing to be its own thing, and each character, same thing. It's great character development, and it's just another show where you suddenly have the feels. You suddenly get told a story, and there's certain relationships that build up between certain characters and the different backstories that each individual character has. It's a lot of moments are moving. You have like very moving storytelling still involved, but man, and it's got a great budget. I mean, it's well shot, good effects,
Yeah,
good
HBO Max.
good makeup. Yeah, I mean, it's not an HBO Max show; it's on HBO Max. But I think that now that they're in partnership with HBO Max, they're going to be held to a high standard, so they're going to stay up there. So I'm really looking forward to the next season. But it's crazy. Yeah. I mean, it really has some crazy moments, but it's just so fun and different to watch. I mean, by far, Mr. Nobody, that's my favorite character, which is the villain, which is Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, Alan Tudyk is like just incredible. And you recognize everyone: Brendan Fraser, Timothy Dalton, which he's excellent. Have you seen Penny Dreadful, which is another show Yopis and I have talked about? He's basically the original Penny Dreadful, not the current one, City of Angels. But he basically plays that same character to an extent. And then even Crazy Jane. That's the most interesting character. Not my personal favorite.
Diane Guerrero.
Yeah. Diane Guerrero, which is from Orange is the New Black, and she gets to show a lot of range in this show, and they actually do with her character what I wish they would have done with Legion, which is that X-Men show that FX did.
What happened to that? That got canceled, I guess.
No, it finished. It had
it finished.
It had
how many seasons? Four seasons?
Three seasons. But
three seasons?
3 seasons.
I thought it only had one.
That's what I thought. That's crazy.
3 seasons, and they're only like 6 or 7 episodes a season. And it's a good show. It's very different, and it's different than what you thought you were gonna get from the comic books, because in the comic books, the main character Legion, the reason it's called Legion is because he's a legion of heroes in one person. He's a son of Charles Xavier, and he has like schizophrenia, and he has what supposedly, not supposedly, but what they do with Crazy Jane does, where each personality is supposed to have a different set of powers, but they don't do that in the show Legion. They don't go there. He does have emotional, psychological problems and all that stuff, but they don't get into that. His powers are each controlled by a different personality.
Okay.
You know, it's all in one. Each one of her personalities is a different set of her powers, and then the different personality kind of makes sense with the power that the personality has. And when they get deeper into her backstory, those are some interesting episodes. It gets
right. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, you.
So,
it's
you'll like
that
it.
show. That show. You know, that show caught me by surprise. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't expect that I was gonna get what I got, and mainly because I'm having this war with
you
DC.
Hate DC.
No, I don't. I do not hate DC. I do not hate DC.
You hate Zack Snyder though.
I do hate Zack.
Which there's a quick sidetrack. Not happy about that teaser for the Snyder Cut.
That was a terrible.
Having to hear that Lex Luthor. I mean, I get MSK's excitement with Darkseid, but I don't.
You're using excited a little bit too.
Well, happy.
See,
I get why MSK's happy to see Darkseid.
Hopeful is the word, right?
And to see some silver lining to it.
My expectations are very low. Yeah. So when I saw that trailer, Jesse sucks. Whatever. I knew he was gonna be in it anyways. Oh, Darkseid looks cool. Let's see what that's about. It's hopeful. It's hopeful. Not excited. I don't think there's anything exciting about DC right now.
So Peace, you were saying
I'm having a war with DC. Personally, I'm having a war with DC because I'm not getting what they should be on their live TV, on their live, mainly on their live movies. Let's just put it what it is. So this show, I went in it. I'm telling you, I went in it with the lowest that you can go into a show, where it was just like, let me see what I'm gonna get. And I got surprised. I was really surprised with the show. The actors are amazing. The actors really, even Fraser. That's another one that I need to mention, because it's another character that he's playing, which I feel like he should have been playing this all his career. I feel like he wants to play this guy all his career, and he never got the chance until now. He's
so close to being the comedy that he's always been with Bedazzled. Like, I think Bedazzled's the closest to it, because that's like the of all the other Brendan Fraser like clean cut comedies he was doing, Blast from the Past and all that. That's the one that always pushed right on the line. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it was almost right on the line of raunchy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right on the line of Deadpool, but still keeping it family friendly. And now this is like, if you got to cross the line, is this character?
It's him stepping over the line, and I feel like this is it for him. This should be him for the rest of his career from now on.
No, his oh man, let me tell you now. you hear and WTF. I want to make MSK have to edit it out. But when you hear that all the time in movies, and he does it a lot. But the way he does it and his timing on things when he does it, it's just so honest. It is so. I mean, there's things that happen in this show that like the comedies are so nonchalant where oh man, I can't. It's great. I can't because I'm gonna spoil it. It has such great comedic moments that are very Office-ish. Actually, there's like some moments that have that style of humor where it's just like a blatant comedy, but then again, it has real story to it. It has real arc to it and real emotional moments. And the raunchier the character, the more I mean, for the most part, there's that one character that he's all in bandages. I'll tell you now, he's actually, you've seen him and stuff. That last thing I talked about it when we were on the Instagram, he was John Boy, and remember the MSK, the not the tough guys, the nice guys. Remember the nice guys with Russell Crowe?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, John Boy, the murderer that they're like trying to keep from like killing whatever witness that they have or whatever in that movie. So you've seen him in other stuff, but he plays a very different character.
Okay, yeah, Matt Bomer. He was in another show
Matt Bomer.
too.
Yeah, he plays Negative Man. That's the name of that hero, Negative Man, and that's actually the most serious of all the characters, I think, consistently. Because all the other ones have so much silliness to them. He has a much deeper rooted story and his personality, but they need that because it's balancing the team. It's balancing the dynamic of the group. There's one that has to be, for the most part, on the more steady of a character, and he's that character. But even he has his moments where it's like it's a perfect setup for the other characters.
It's a great show, and it's,
and all I'm gonna say, and there's no spoilers because when it happens, and I said on the Instagram, I'm gonna keep saying it, but when it happens, you go, oh wow, that is funny. He's like, just remember the name. Admiral Whiskers. That's all I gotta say. Admiral. Just remember Admiral Whiskers. It's the best.
I gotta check that out. When's the next season start?
It starts June 25th. So if you binge now,
I think you could do it, bro. I think you can do it.
Well, I mean, we have a couple of shows coming up.
You can do it
soon.
No, but you know what? Hold out because I think it's gonna be released a week at a time though. Because I believe. Yeah, because I believe DC Network airs it first,
you see and then like a day or two
later.
You see what I mean?
HBO Max will air it. Yeah.
Do you see you see why I'm having a problem with DC?
Yeah.
Do you see what's
happening?
You're
having a problem with Warner Brothers. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So HBO has like 3 different types of streaming services and DC Universe. So like there's 4 streaming services. Yeah. That should just be one.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think it will be. I think that's what the setup is. I think we're going to get, by having the powerhouse of HBO with it, I have a feeling within a year or two, it's going to be a merge, and it'll be HBO Max. They'll just
it's all the same company. It's all Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers. So they should just make one.
Yeah. I mean, it might be a price bump up in it because of it, but yeah, you'll probably get Warner Brothers, DC, HBO, and all of them, the streams on one.
You know what?
That's what they should do.
I don't care about Warner,
which will make it more worthwhile.
I think you're right. I think I do have a problem with Warner Brothers, and I feel like they need to just give it up. Give it up.
Yeah.
Give it up to Disney.
Give it up to Disney.
Give it up to, I don't care to who, but just give it up. You're holding on to that string, and it's going to pop. It's just going to snap out of your hands. Let it go. Let it go.
Listen, just hang in there. Give it 10, 15 more years. Disney's going to own them.
God.
Disney's going to take over DC. Don't worry.
Warner Brothers sucks.
They're going to get they're gonna get it together.
I saw that first one, bro. I saw that first damn movie at the theater. First cut. I saw it.
Batman v Superman.
I saw that.
Damn you know what? I'm going to tell you one thing. We've talked about it in the podcast before, and we always go back to it. I saw the uncut version. It sucks, right? Some of the acting sucks, but it makes sense. The story makes sense. The version you saw, the story makes no sense.
No.
Like they took scenes out that make you feel like the story makes no sense.
Jesus.
And if I would have seen that, I would have been just as pissed as you are.
My goodness.
It's just one of those films that has its moments, and this is unfortunately, we're gonna really find out with the Snyder cut of how much of that is Joss Whedon and how much is Snyder, because the issues is like.
I'm sorry, I was talking about BVS. I wasn't talking about Justice League.
Yeah, you're talking about Batman. Yeah, you're talking about Batman v Superman. But the comparison I'm making to the two is that with Batman v Superman, even the horrible theater cut, again, there's still moments in that film that I have caught myself rewatching those moments. There's nothing really. Maybe the Superman fight when he resurrects against the rest of the Justice League. Maybe if I caught it at that very moment, I'd watch that scene through. But yeah, I like Batman v Superman. There's about 3 moments at least where I'm like, yeah, this is a good scene to watch. Obviously, none of them have that crappy Lex Luthor in them.
Yeah.
But
I remember watching Justice League with you and us getting out of that theater going, it was okay to watch it
was
once.
It was like, I had to see it, but I really don't see myself seeing it again. And I haven't seen it again. I really have not seen not even a scene again.
It does make BVS better though because it's so bad.
Yeah, no kidding.
Slightly better, but
beard. Give the man a beard.
A beard. I agree 100%.
What is wrong with you?
I agree 100%.
What is wrong with you?
It would make so much sense and would look so good. Like, man.
Give him a beard, man. They should just give him a beard.
Man.
Keeping track, I think it's MSK.
MSK. Go ahead.
Yeah,
MSK. I think that's. We're getting closer to the ending, but I'm going to bring up a series that you guys are way ahead of me on, and I'm trying really hard to keep watching it.
I'm sorry.
And it is Penny Dreadful, City of Angels or whatever it's called. I'm on episode 3, and
it's dreadful.
I think
it's dreadful. Yeah, you can say
it's not bad, but I feel like if it didn't have that supernatural thing, it would be a better series.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not even.
Actually, I think we're the opposite. It was more supernatural. No, he has different issues than us because I don't think he sat through.
Well, I'm not
Penny Dreadful.
Yeah, I haven't seen the original Penny Dreadful.
Okay, so he doesn't. He has different issues than we do.
Yeah.
And I knew he would like. And actually, this makes sense. He's liking the part that I knew he would like.
Yeah,
and
the
he's
cop
not having.
And the
Yeah, and so he would actually like it to remove the supernatural part.
Yeah. So change the name. Don't call it Penny Dreadful because I know that's not what it is.
Look,
right? That's like if I wanted to watch Penny Dreadful, I'd watch the original series.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, that's our issue with it. Our issue
you just
is that
made that same point, and you are somebody that never even seen Penny Dreadful.
I've never seen the original.
Which is
and I know what it's about, but I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, yeah, I like the cop stuff, and then the supernatural. I'm like. These aren't mixing together. Like, either do the cop stuff or the supernaturals, but don't do both of them. Because I'm only in the 3rd episode, so I don't know if it keeps going that way. But I want more of the cop
it's a rough
things
blend.
for me.
It's a rough blend. I mean, I'll give credit. I cannot remember the actress's name off the top of my head, but she played Marjorie in Game of Thrones. I 100% get why she took this role. As you get deeper to the season, she plays more and more characters. So it gave her as an actor a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first episode. She played like 3 different.
Exactly.
characters.
So it gives her a lot of room to show her performance ability. But outside of that, it is a rough blend of the two genres. The two genres will probably do better if either one was its own as opposed to mixing these two. Our issue with it specifically as Penny Dreadful fans
you want
is
Penny
what we
Dreadful.
keep saying.
Yeah.
And the thing is that what happens, the first episode is actually really good. The first episode is good, it gets you hooked.
Yeah.
But after that, and here's pre-warning for you, it's kind of just like not getting better.
No.
It's not bad, but it's not getting it's not holding up to what the first episode does.
Yeah.
And fearfully it's looking like this is gonna get a second season. So I'm not very happy about that because I was hoping
I already see it. Like the first 2 episodes, because the second episode was really good too. That's when the brothers go at it.
Yeah.
And something happens with one of the brothers. That episode's pretty good. But I don't know, man. Like toward the end, like the middle of the 3rd episode, I'm already like, okay, the acting, something's off, and the whole supernatural thing, I don't know if I'm going to stick around for it, but it's rough.
Our issue is like they should have just, number one, said from the makers of Penny Dreadful,
yes,
City of Angels. So just by doing that, then I go, okay, I'm not expecting it to be Penny Dreadful.
Right.
I know it's those people who made it, but let me see what this is about. And then when I would have watched it, I wouldn't have these Penny Dreadful expectations. I would know it's those people, but I'm not going to get the same show. Yep. I would be fine with that. But because we went in with these Penny Dreadful expectations, and because our favorite thing about Penny Dreadful is the supernatural stuff, it's not blending well with the non-supernatural stuff. And I agree. I think this show would be a better show if they removed the supernatural element to it.
Or just go full supernatural, because what I understand,
or just do it subtle,
supernatural.
Or do it subtle. Yeah. If you're gonna do it, do it subtle.
Yes,
in order for me to be intrigued,
like the way True Detective does.
Yes,
the way where there is a spirituality to each season of True Detective, but it's very subtle.
Yeah, and then that way I get that. Okay, I can see the Penny Dreadful in it. It's not Penny Dreadful by name, and now I am hooked into this cop show of the timepiece that we're getting.
It should have been a timepiece cop show, because that's what's interesting to me. The whole supernatural thing.
And I'm going to tell you, by far, I'm personally, the performance I'm enjoying the most. Again, I'm giving great respect to the main, not Santa Muerta, but the sister, the evil one, which is Marjorie from Game of Thrones. But Nathan Lane is her
name is Natalie Dormer.
He's killing it for me in this series for me. What's her name again? Sorry,
Natalie Dormer. Yeah,
she's awesome in this show. But I'm just mostly impressed with Nathan Lane's character. I like the character, and I like the performance. And I dig that story that they're specifically telling there.
See, you know what this series reminded me of right before the cop stuff, because it starts off with the dad dying in the
Santa
farm.
Marta.
It reminded me of Good Omens. I don't know if Omega. I think you saw it. Good
Omens. Yes.
It reminded me of Good Omens, just like a
which
serious
is a comedy,
version of it.
which is a total comedy. Yeah,
it was a total comedy.
That's a fun comedy.
All right,
That's
if I want to watch
show.
Good Omens, I'll just watch Good Omens. Like,
that's funny. That's very true. It is
but then they went to the cop stuff, and the cop stuff is cool. But then,
man,
make it one or the other.
It's too interrupted.
Make it one or the other.
It's too much interruption. One is not taking off because of the other. There's just too much interruption. But,
and I'm only on episode 3, so I don't know what else is gonna happen. I don't know.
I'm just telling you, get ready for a ride and strap up because it's gonna be a very long ride for you, because you never seen Penny Dreadful, and it's the only thing that's keeping me on this is just knowing that there's something supernatural. And that, because even the cop
how they're
thing,
gonna wrap it up.
Because even the cop thing, I'm telling you, it would not have kept what they're doing. It would not have kept me here. So the supernatural aspect is keeping me afloat. And if they don't close this up for me and they go for a second season, it's gonna be bad. In the sense that I'm probably not gonna watch.
Yeah, to an extent, it needs the supernatural to it of some kind. I mean, again, it's heavier maybe than it.
But it gets heavier. It gets gonna get heavier.
Or it's not heavy enough. But either way, it needs it, because if not, it's too much coincidental, which people with intelligence can't stand when shows do that.
Yeah.
Like that's what's tortured, like shows like Walking Dead and stuff like that, is when they do too much coincidence. And it's like, come on, man, like really? It's like, what's it? It's the same character, and he's gonna come and you get. But this show, because of the supernatural aspect, it explains the coincidence, because it's not coincidence.
Right.
It's a purposeful interaction and setup of characters lining up with one another and interacting with one another on purpose of some way. Where shows that don't have a supernatural aspect, you're like, yeah, okay, this guy's just gonna so happen to keep running into these guys, and you just start to get annoyed by that. So it does need it, but again, I just don't know what's gonna work better for, if it had a lot more of it or if it had a lot less of it.
I don't know, and that's the question that we're having ourselves.
It's just they're merging 2 shows. That's what they're doing.
Yeah,
they're merging 2 shows.
It feels like that's what it was. It feels like there was 2 separate shows written, and they took another writing staff to merge the 2 shows together. Because some guy had the epiphany, like, it would be a great idea if we took this one and this one.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's literally that's hurting them, because I won Penny Dreadful.
Yeah.
That's
as of right now, in my opinion, it does not hold up to the original Penny Dreadful
at all. Nowhere near.
I kind of feel like they're trying to do the same thing like American Horror Story, where it's like every season's different. They use the same actors and. But even that kind of connects or stays in its own thing.
But you know what? MSK, I'm telling you right now, it's not, because it doesn't hold up to it. American Horror, somehow, it's, even though they're recycling actors, which, by the way, they're only recycling 1 actor. So you do not call something Penny Dreadful because you're recycling 1 actor.
Yeah, exactly. 1 actor.
So
exactly.
Apart from that, it's just not holding up to be Penny Dreadful. And what Penny Dreadful is, it's not what this is. What the meaning of Penny Dreadful, when you look back and go ahead and look up what Penny Dreadful is.
It's a Penny Dreadful. That doesn't make sense either, because a Penny Dreadful is the little comic books, the little articles that cost a penny, and they were dreadfuls. They told story. So it was that time era, that Victorian,
right?
Jack
which is what season 1 was, what the original series was.
So this is not adding up.
So this doesn't even make sense to have that name at all.
It's just not adding up.
It doesn't line up at all.
I just feel like it's forcing. Like it's forcing it.
It is. But I mean, it's worth watching right now when it's all wraps up. we can let the audience know we really feel it's worth watching at all. Because
that's true.
if it doesn't wrap up well, I don't think it's gonna really be worth it. There's nothing yet to me that's so amazing that I'm like, well, you know, even though like Westworld, you know what I mean? Like, you know, last season maybe for some people it didn't. I think MSK particularly, it wasn't the show they wanted to be, whatever. But there's still moments you're like, it was still worth watching.
Yeah, like, I'm not giving up on Westworld, but
yeah,
it was
this is
not
a show where,
season.
as of right now, I can't point out anything. Be like, yeah, no matter what, you gotta at least see this.
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
it. Like we gotta see how it wraps up. So that's a rough show. I guess we could go ahead and start hitting a NerdCessity. I mean, I have
Wrap it up.
a long list here. We can wrap it up, but now we're gonna.
But before we wrap it up, let me just tell everybody where they can find us. How about that?
Yes, very important.
All right.
Good job.
All right, you
got
can reach us
All yours.
at on our email, which is contactfancor@gmail.com. You can call us at 786-704-8404. And you can listen to us on fanaticallycorrect.com, on PodBean, on Google Play, on AnyPod, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, on your podcast for iOS, on your whatever else podcast thing you have. But other than that, you can always follow us on our @handle at FanCorrect on Twitter and Instagram, Fanatically Correct on Facebook and MeWe. And at the end of the day, make sure that before you give us that call, that it's free for you, sir or ma'am, because
I'm not paying.
are broke.
Nope.
Broke.
Broke cast.
Broke.
Broke
Super
cast.
broke.
Other than that, that's where you can find us. And don't forget to review us. That's the main one.
Yep.
That's
Very
it.
important.
I'm out.
Either one of you want to do NerdCessity?
Nah.
I mean, I got one. I got one that's I don't know if either of you have seen it. This is definitely up MSK's alley, but Yopi should enjoy it too. This is actually a good NerdCessity. I'm rewatching. This isn't the NerdCessity. It's another show that completely has to do with it. But I'm I'm currently rewatching.
Matlock.
Yeah, Matlock. Yes, Matlock. I'm telling you, man.
Murder.
A Matlock reboot could work. Well, Perry Mason is coming out. That's so the audience understands what we're joking about there. There's a Perry Mason series coming on
seriously.
HBO. No, well, it's actually The Mandalorian. The actual thing that I'm gonna NerdCessity. It's not The Mandalorian because I'm pretty sure everyone's seen it. So it's like I don't even think I need to tell anyone it's a NerdCessity. If you haven't seen it, you're under a rock and you're insane. But
Or they just don't have Disney Plus. I mean,
or they don't have Disney Plus. So when you get to it, but it's actually Disney Gallery, Star Wars, The Mandalorian.
Yeah, it's very good.
And I got into that because I'm rewatching The Mandalorian with my parents because they hadn't seen it. They're loving it. Of course, they heard the hype of Baby Yoda and all that. But this behind the scenes look of the making of this series, which is crazy because I mean the series just came out, so usually it takes a while for something to be iconic before you're going back to watch a 7-part series making of
8
it.
parts.
But it's 8 parts. Oh, 8 parts. There you go. And I know like one episode's I think the last one was the music, was the score. Then I think the first one is like special effects, CGI. Then you have another episode is the practical effects that they have with it, and then the directors. And it's just really incredible everything that's going to this show and why it makes sense why this show is so damn good. And to see these, it's part roundtable conversation with, cut scenes from, certain episodes and a lot of backstory to the writing and to the hiring of certain people. And, even the directors, they get into like their first interactions with Star Wars, their first interactions with George Lucas. And it's pretty incredible to watch how this show's made because it's different. I mean, it really, I mean, it's not, it is groundbreaking because it's taking everything to the next level. And it's shocking that as good as that show already is, as it's for its story and for what we're getting, it's going to be another one of those iconic film things that is going to start changing overall how film is made. And you're going to see a lot of it. And I'll even give it an example, and it makes complete sense. I already knew it right away when I started reading and getting things about that new Bourne Stuntacular or whatever that replaced Terminator 2 3D in Universal Studios. I had a feeling...
Wait, hold on. They replaced the Terminator, Red?
Yeah, what just happened? When did you do this? Why would you do this to me?
I got some bad news for you guys.
Who does that?
I got some bad news for you guys.
Did they announce this? When did this happen?
Yeah,
It was during the pandemic. Is that why the pandemic happened?
No, like I think it was like the year before last. They shut down Terminator 2 3D. That's it. It's done.
Shut up.
Shut
up.
Ride's gone. Yeah,
Shut up.
First was Back to the Future with The Simpsons, and now it's Terminator 2 3D.
No, but Terminator has been there since like 92 or something, like 93.
I know. And yeah, it's gone now, and it's a Bourne, a Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne?
That doesn't sound.
Wait. No, honestly, I'm not even kidding. You replace Terminator with Jason Bourne?
Yeah.
Not even with an updated Terminator. Like, they should have just updated
it. Yeah, it's not. They went a little bit low tech. Wow. And they went with the Jason.
So I gotta take my 6-year-old son to be part of Treadstone, right?
Yeah,
Universal
and you gotta
Studios.
see, and it's called Bourne Stuntacular, which is a horrible name. It's a horrible name. Stuntacular. But what's impressive, I've been reading some stuff on it, and there's YouTube video of it already like crazy. It's a lot, and I had a feeling they're doing what The Mandalorian does. They're using that same technology of the round filming of projection screens all around to create an environment that the actors interact with. So basically, you're watching like them filming a Bourne scene that doesn't need to be filmed on location anymore, because that's what it is with The Mandalorian. Nothing's filmed on location. Everything's filmed with this new style of filming.
That does not sound cool to kids, man. A Bourne?
Yeah, it's not for kids. It's not. You don't even have a kid fan base for that movie. But it's the same interaction. It's the same interaction. So
they could have done anything. They could have done anything.
I know. That's gonna bomb. It's gonna bomb. That's gonna be there for like 2 years, and they're gonna replace it again. That's not gonna last.
But you ever seen the meme of the guy who has an idea at a table, and then he says whatever, and he gets thrown out the window? Let me ask you something.
Should have happened.
Why didn't that happen to that guy or that woman that decided that was a good idea?
It's not even relevant, right? Like the last Bourne movie was 3 years ago. It didn't do well. Like it's not like
no, and then it's like I watch it on YouTube because I have no intention of spending money, or even if I did spend the money, it's not worth. Like, I watch it on YouTube. It's not worth it. That's not worth.
This is your NerdCessity. Like it's not even about The Mandalorian anymore. It's about how much we're not going to go to that ride.
NerdCessity. Do not bother with
the NerdCessity.
Jason Bourne Stuntacular. But no, I only brought it up because they just used that similar technology. Of course, it would have been better if it was something like The Mandalorian. Obviously, you can't because it's Universal.
Or Terminator.
That's Star Wars. Yeah. Actually, they should have updated, like you said.
Right?
They would
like just better. Update Terminator?
Yeah, update Terminator, because considering the technology they're using that's from The Mandalorian, that would just make that a much better experience than it even was before. But it's kind of a waste on a more practical, and it doesn't work as well, because the thing with Mandalorian, it's spaceships and lasers and aliens. It's Star Wars. So when you take that fake environment, but not fake, but a generated environment in a sci-fi experience, it's cleaner, it looks better, it's crisper. When you try to bring it to a natural environment that we're used to seeing, it has its flaws. It has a lot of flaws that I don't think it's gonna work for that type of filming. So that would have been better as a more practical type show, but they're wasting that form of technology to do a more practical stunt show.
How?
But
is that even a thing, bro?
I shouldn't have brought it up. It's like completely ruined the necessity.
No. I mean, I won't. Like, it's terrible. It's terrible.
No, I'm honestly, I haven't even seen the Mandalorian.
So what do they do? Like, they call people up, and then like I'm still on the ride. I'm sorry. Like, I can't believe it. I can't. Like so, they bring him up to stage and they beat him up.
Yeah, it's a show. He's fighting, and they're taking different segments from different Bourne movies, and then they have like a car chase scene and that's what it is. It's like the screen environment is moving with the car.
It's Indiana Jones with a screen.
Yeah, exactly. That's really what it is. It's all actors interacting and timing the screen projection. So it's basically like watching them film something the way that they
but it
filmed
looks
The
like
Mandalorian.
those car drives like in the 50s, like in the movies.
Yes,
in the 50s,
it does. It
where
does.
I feel like
there's
that's
a
what I'm
couple
gonna
of
look
car
at.
chase scenes. Yeah, exactly. It's funny how you said it. Boy, watch it on YouTube. Watch it on YouTube right now because exactly what you
I'm
just
not
said is
gonna watch
exactly
that.
what it looks
I'm
like.
not gonna
You
watch
have
that.
to.
No, but
Terminator's still
Just
there.
fast forward through it.
Terminator's still there.
It's like,
Listen.
dude, what's crazy is I watched it like in 2 minutes because I fast forward through everything, but it's like 20 minutes long too. So like you're there
20
for like
minutes?
20 minutes. Yeah. So people are there for like 20 minutes watching this.
All right.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Hey,
That's-
I'm
it's
going
just-
to
it's just so
listen. Honestly, I'm not.
on YouTube
I wasn't
right now.
trying to laugh at this thing, but I just can't believe that they replaced Terminator with Bourne Identity.
Yeah, the ride it don't make sense. Yeah. No, because Bourne's great movies. Those are good movies.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Bourne-
I understand
the
that, but it's
Bourne
not
movies.
like
Yeah.
it's not
But
like
no, it's not.
a
It's not that
blockbuster
type-
franchise like
it's-
that. Like
No, it's not that type of. Actually, I hate to say it. I'll never write that either. But the Fast and Furious thing makes more sense than that because at least it's like an all.
I think it does. It
car
does.
thing or
When
whatever.
Back to
It
the
does.
Future went down,
Yeah.
they replaced it with The Simpsons, right?
Yeah,
that's
That should
iconic.
have never happened.
You
That
know?
should have never happened. Simpsons is good, but Back to the Future.
Yeah, I
and
understand,
that
but
holds
at least
up.
it's The
And that
Simpsons.
holds
Like
up,
everyone
man.
knows about The Simpsons. Like
Yeah.
Bourne Identity. My 6-year-old kid's not gonna go on a Bourne Identity ride. Like he's not.
I
Gonna
wonder
care
if they'll
about that.
just. I wonder when Disney puts their foot down finally, they'll just put it back to the Future.
Oh, that's
Like,
Universal. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because now that Disney owns the Simpsons, when they decide
True
to say
that.
no,
True
no
that.
Oh,
more,
that is true. Yeah, that is.
Yeah,
true.
no more of our Simpsons. Like they might as well just put it back to the Future. You know what I mean? Because like what
Yeah.
you know, like they already have all the film for it and everything.
No,
You know
they're
what I mean?
gonna
Just-
get another blockbuster franchise like Blast from the Past or Pleasantville or something.
Well, they are building that Nintendo or video game land or whatever. Maybe maybe that's what their plan is. That's gonna be a Mario Kart ride or something. Who knows?
I'm going to watch the. I'm going to watch the
That's better than
NerdCessity
Bourne
though
Identity.
because I have not seen it. So I personally
The
am
Mandalorian.
going to go check
You're talking
out
about The Mandalorian?
the
Yeah.
Mandalorian,
The gallery.
thing.
Yeah, the Disney gallery.
You should-
Yeah, it's awesome.
One-
It's good information.
Where can I
And
see it?
just to add on to it, one of
It's
the
on
best
Disney Plus.
parts.
All the episodes are there. Already.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the best parts of that whole gallery thing is
Mm-hmm.
how Dave Filoni talks about Star Wars.
Yeah.
That guy's like the next George Lucas of how much he
Yeah.
loves Star Wars.
I agree.
I just want.
That's the guy.
I just want.
That's the guy who started with Clone Wars, right? That's the guy who started with Clone Wars.
Yeah, he's the head guy of Clone Wars, and he
Yeah.
did the other cartoon. I don't know. I don't. It escapes my mind right now.
Rebels.
Yeah.
Rebels.
All I
Star Wars
want to
Rebels.
know.
Thank you.
All I want to know is how did they manage to keep Baby Yoda a secret?
Yeah, you know what? They do
That's
talk
all
about that a little bit.
I want to know.
They do talk about that a little bit, and it's not what I thought it was. 'Cause I really thought that Jon Favreau just had like all their children in a basement or something and holding them hostage, and was holding them hostage. And like, if you say anything, I'll just kill your children. And that's because you like, how do you keep that a secret? Like, seriously, how do you like Jon Favreau? What's Kevin Feige must have talked to Jon Favreau like, hey, I gotta whatever you're doing, I gotta like just do it to the Incredible Hulk and to Spider-Man.
That has to be the biggest-
to Mark Ruffalo.
like-
I need you to be in charge of Ruffalo and Tom Holland, so we don't leak stuff no more.
like no,
because
but seriously,
I don't know
that
how none
has
of that
to
got
be
out.
the biggest like download like
Crazy.
thing ever
Crazy.
in a while, right? Because even
Yeah.
like phones, like even Apple gets their stuff put out there
Yep.
before it even comes
Yeah.
out.
No, it's insane. It's insane.
It's
And what's sad is like
Baby Yoda.
it's such a big thing. I know it's such a big thing that you're not spoiling it by saying because everybody already knows about it, and there's still so many people who have not seen The Mandalorian yet.
Yeah.
But everybody knows about Baby Yoda. Like as soon as that broke, there was no holding that back. There was no holding that back at all. There was no way. But it's so well done, and that episode's great too when they show the actual mechanics and puppetry and animatronic. I mean, it kind of takes away a little bit of the the movie magic behind it, but not really because it's such an and I think it's like 4 people to control it.
It's crazy.
The Baby Yoda.
I'm glad they're still doing that though. That
Yes, and what's crazy
Yeah.
about it is like they make like all the directors and all the actors, they have to like, even though the directors talk to it, he doesn't talk to the puppeteers. That's one of my favorite things in this show is when they show that the directors do that. They talk to the puppet itself like it's
Good.
one of the actors, and then
That's
the
good.
puppeteers just have to like if he tells the Baby Yoda like I need you to move your arms left and right. The puppeteers are standing like 10 feet away on the other side of the thing, and they're making like like, oh crap, he's talking to our puppet. We better do what he says. But they just everyone just fully interacts with it like it's its own living, breathing,
Yeah.
actor. So So it's impressive to see all that stuff.
I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, because I really love that they still use that type of animatronics for.
It's more real, man. I feel like animatronics are more real than CGI.
Like I don't hate CGI. Obviously, like I don't hate CGI. It works in certain things, but like that needs it. Like a baby Yoda. It needs to be able to do that, and you need to feel that movie magic. I like that, man. I'm gonna go look.
It's amazing just to see all the technology upgrades of like, you know, Avatar started with the filming, the virtual world in real time, and like it's on their phones already to this point. Crazy. Like they can actually like just download it to your phone and walk around, and it affects the light. I mean, you're gonna have such a good time.
How
watching
long
that.
ago
That's
was
why
Avatar?
I was NerdCessity. Oh, wow.
10 years ago.
Damn, and it's already an app. Like Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
basically, it's an app now. The Phantom camera work and all that. It's an app. And
it took James Cameron 20 years to do that, and it's like 10 years for us to do.
10 years into an app, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
But it's insane, and it's crazy because like they've really changed the way filming is done now. Because it's going from you know, you're always in a real environment and then CGI and characters to all the characters are practical and makeup and costuming, and it's the environment that's completely CGI. I mean, it's so
that's
well
cool,
done.
man.
It's next level.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So
all right.
I mean, to be fair,
I
Lucas was doing that for a while.
Plenty of editing. Probably edit out all the Bourne.
I mean, no, he shouldn't edit that out.
I'm leaving everything.
The whole episode's gonna be that. It's gonna be a Bourne episode now. Everyone's gonna talk.
You know what? Universal.
I can't believe you told us that. You told us that like if we already knew. Like how are we gonna know?
I thought maybe you had.
Man, I haven't been to Universal
with
years.
everything that's going on in 2020.
Information.
That's the last thing I'm ever gonna know.
That's it. That's the last thing with everything else.
Everything going on in 2020, I do not know anything about a ride in Universal Studios.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
So, but yeah, well, we'll leave it at that. This Omega saying peace.
MSK, peace out.
Yo, peace. Peters.
And there you have it, folks. This has been Fanatically Correct. Until next time, you crazy kids. Signing off.